but he said that he had.
Yeah, the
that he
PR
had
is there, but it's just last week.
Okay.
Yeah, he posted
Nothing.
last night for me that he made some progress in understanding the issue, but I didn't see any PR yet, updated PR.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to all two things. One is, yeah, let's obviously if Akash gets fixed, let's get it in. Otherwise, let's proceed with what we have, and then if there is an issue, we'll do a doc release.
Okay, I think since I'm already close to a fix, I might try to just finish this rather than delay it. The reason I think it is necessary, if you're developing or trying to fix something with Free5GC, you need to be able to debug it on its own as an operator. I do think that's important. Or at least update the README to say what you need to do to run it, because the README is completely broken right now.
Yeah, that's a fair game. If you want to do the README, I think that's a good idea. But other than that, the individual CRs that we have, obviously they are not being used at all now because everything is NF deployment. That's the change that happened from R1 to R2. So those CRs will not be necessary at all. I think I'm leaning towards, I'm perfectly okay putting that README thing that you're talking about. We should do that. And then in addition to, if you get a fix from Akash, probably we could consider that. But beyond those two things, I think probably we are too close to the game at this point of time. Victor has verified.
Because Bala, what my understanding, I mean, I looked into the issue with Akash. I mean, what Victor did might work, but if the pipeline runs again, you will have the duplication. Huh?
When you mean pipeline runs again, what do you mean? And when?
So right now, what he did is basically we always have the functions twice, right? Because we have the in and the out, basically, right? So what he did is basically he removed one of them.
Right.
But what it means is that if you run the pipeline again, let's say if Porsche runs it again, the function hits and it will do a duplication, right? So you will have the duplication of the entry.
So my understanding is, Victor, correct me if I'm wrong, even after you removed the second occurrence, you still had the duplicates in that thing, but it's worked. Something like that.
Okay.
You said.
Yeah, that's right, Bala. So what I think what Wim is trying to say is basically we haven't fixed the root cause, so that doesn't mean that, I mean, anyone who can create like a KPT and add multiple calls to the same function is going to show the issue in the configuration.
So it seems to me that, I looked at the code. I think the fix is something like check that it's not already there before adding it.
Yeah, that's what it is. So the fix is really small, what Akash will do. But what I'm trying to say is that what we have done right now, this issue can pop up again, is what I'm trying to say. Even with what Victor did, is what I'm trying to say. So if you're in a scenario that basically the pipeline runs again, you will have the duplication. And so I think once you have the duplication, Victor, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's right. So probably the question could be, do we want to fix it now or like postpone it for R2? That's, I guess, the thing that we have to answer.
I think the fix is really small, by the way, but because the problem which you'll have is that if people run it and you will hit this issue one way or another, in my view. So if you don't fix it properly, you will have to fix it. You'll have to do a .1 or something like that, because people will try it and they will.
So I have a question here. The way I understand it, it goes through the kept SDK that you worked on. So I wonder if we put that check for duplication in the kept SDK, so anybody using the kept SDK you'll always have that fix, right? So if you're going through the kept SDK to add, right, the kept SDK will already check for that it's not already there, right?
But the problem is the kept SDK is CR unaware, right? So the problem is now we need to find so the SDK itself is basically, it doesn't know anything about CRs. I mean, it knows KRM files, but not the content. So here you have to look into the content.
So and I'll note, by the way, that in some cases you might want a duplication, right? There might be some use cases where you do actually want 2 or 3 of something. So maybe there could be an API to add, and you say allow duplicates or don't allow duplicates as a flag. And if we put everything through that function, some Go function that add, so yeah, then we can fix the problem more generically. So you very deliberately, when you call add, you decide if you want to allow duplicates or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we can add that capability. I would do that later if I will, because I think we should fix what we have right now. But we can add the flexibility to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So on the fix Vim, I think if Akash has gotten to a fix, if we have a PR there, then probably do that. Other than that, probably we should not do anything else, is what I'm thinking. Because I do not want to go to TSC tomorrow again with the bad news. I think we should, if we have the fix today and then from Akash, we can do that. Otherwise, if it is an intermittent issue, with sometimes succeeds, sometimes it fails, we should take it. We should take it after.
So how's this as a proposal? Let's document what we want to happen for a 2.0.1 release. And we can be very transparent with the TSC tomorrow, saying we have something that works, but we really want to do a 2.0.1 release soon with a better fix. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that works. I mean, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'm just afraid that if you don't fix it properly, at some point someone say it doesn't work, and then you have to debug it and that, and then that's my worry. But I'm okay with the 2.01. Yeah, it's a good.
I think we will have to do 2.0.1. I'm pretty sure this is not the only thing, because I'm pretty sure there'll be few candidates. We will have to fix some documentation here and there. We'll have to do some minor fixes, some minor tweaks here and there. Then I think 2.0.1 will happen, just like the way 1.0.1 happened. I think the dot release, it's okay. It's a part of the life cycle of a software. Yeah, sorry, Tal, you were saying something when I was talking.
Well, I propose that as a compromise, but I'm leaning on, Wim here too, that I would prefer 2.0.0 to be fixed. I think we're very close, maybe. We just need kind of a few more days. I would suggest this. Let's come to the TSC meeting tomorrow with those two options. Say we could do a 2.0.1 release soon with a proper fix, or we can take maybe a few more days to release 2.0.0. See what the TSC thinks about those two options, pros and cons, and let them decide.
I am not, okay, I don't want to be, let me be the devil's advocate. I really do not want to delay the release. I think we have had enough time, to be honest with you, to fix any of these issues.
Let's hear another voice here. Fikra has his hand up.
Yes.
It's a bug fix. So a bug fix and documentation can go in after the release, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'd have to publish a new 2.01 or a 2.0.1 release just for a bug fix.
It seems to me like a kind of fundamental bug, but yeah. Any other opinions here from anybody?
Well, I'd say it's better to ship it when it's ready. Like back in the old Debian days, the new release will be ready when it's ready. So, but this is just my opinion. If there is some pressure to make the release, then make the patch release. We can do that, but I'm generally more in favor of just releasing something that's, of course, never perfect, but at least we're sure that it's in a good state, right?
Yeah, the one thing we know is the only reason I'm advocating for release is Victor has tested a couple of times and he has seen success. So, right. So if it didn't work at all, then obviously, no. I mean, we have seen it works and we are not sure about the fix. It's an intermittent issue at this point of time. So that's the reason I'm suggesting if there is something you could, if there is indeed a bug, if it doesn't work consistently, then we can take a look at that. Here, Vish has his hands raised. Go ahead, Vish.
Yes, go ahead, Vish.
Yeah, sorry. So just trying to understand this from my so R1, as this bug existed in R1 as well, or was this introduced in R2 because of some changes we do?
Yeah, it's a new bug.
Oh, it's a new bug. Okay. Thank you.
It's a,
And so one usually, like, there's usually something called as a change control board that we have when you're doing a product development lifecycle, right? So if you were to put on those hats and see that, is this something like a stop ship at this point of time, or can there be a workaround if there was a support call? Would somebody be able to actually suggest a workaround and it'll get this up and running? So these are the kind of questions, that will help guide whether this is a stop ship or this needs to be fixed before we release it. So something to think about.
yeah, that's a good point, Vish. Yeah.
Yes, I do think we have two very clear paths here, right? Either wait a few days to fix or put it into point release. I think we can leave it to the TSC. The TSC, Bala, you're playing devil's advocate, as you said, so the TSC will probably do the same and prefer to release. So that's fine. I think we're fine with both of these paths, right?
Oh,
I hope. Yeah, that's what I want to make sure, that everybody here is feels okay with whatever the TSC would decide. Victor, you have your hand up.
yeah, the thing is, we can say that message to TSC, but honestly, we have to get the guidance of the TSC rather than, because we are on the day-to-day operations, TSC is not. So TSC is looking for the guidance rather than the option. Because
Yeah,
TSC members of TSC, they are not in the day-to-day operation. They will not completely understand the context of this. They will ask the same thing, like Vish asked.
Okay.
So
yeah. So
I think it is for us to make a statement. I would rather make the first statement that you did, that there is an intermittent issue, which we may have to do the point release, rather than giving them the option like that, because they do not know. So go ahead, Victor.
Yeah, Bala, I will ask you to raise your hand from now on to make sure that everybody has a voice. Is that okay?
Sure.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Thank you, Bala.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just going to express my opinion. By the way, Tol, I always think that there's always a third option. So there's always that. I mean, it's very hard to find it, but anyway, my preference is I prefer to release it as it is, and maybe just be clear, like transparent, what we have been seeing and discover and document all the issues, and definitely work on the issue. I mean, we can also release the book immediately after the release and attack the components. I guess that's from my perspective, it's a little bit better than keep waiting for more time and more time, because well, technically we supposed to release the second release on December, and now we are approaching February. So I think that people are expecting some issues, and as Bala said, we have a lot of other issues. I have seen Ravi reporting multiple issues, especially because he's taking another path, using the UI and following documentation, and also there are people who are like reporting things in Porch. I just someone reached me out in the morning saying about a particular issue with Porch when they were trying to use private repositories. So from my perspective, I guess it's better to release it now a little bit. I mean, probably document and say, well, I know that we have this particular thing and we are close to release something, and that can give us a little more time to test it with the proper changes and do something. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm tending to agree with that too. I'll add that, Bala, we can add in the release notes a section called outstanding issues.
Yeah,
And
there
we
is
can
section.
redirect-
There is that. Yeah,
Oh,
there is that
excellent.
section. Yes,
Excellent.
there is a section of known issues. We should add it to that section. Yeah.
That might be a good solution. Vish, go ahead.
Sorry, I think I stayed. Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't
okay,
have a
so
question. I didn't have a question, not for now, because I was going to say that, I was going to head to the point of the TSC, like, what Bala was trying to say. We probably need something, what I feel that we need is very something that's similar that we did in R1, where we actually had those use cases defined. We had this acceptance criteria defined by SIG architecture. And usually I would put them as product management role, who would actually have a say in, hey, what is the functionality that is actually missed if we had this bug, or what is the workaround? Those kind of questions I was thinking should be asked by them before we release. Then the TSC was just trying to add to that, but maybe not be relevant right now. We can bring this up as part of a retrospective, maybe. So
yeah, I think actually I'm planning a retrospective after this. I have a few things. Yeah, we can discuss this. Yeah, sorry, Tal. Yes, we have a known issue section. I really want us to take a look at that. I requested all of us to take a look at that known issues. There are some comments, I added that, but this is definitely a known issue. If there's any other known issue, we can add it to that section as well. The PR is open, please make a comment.
Maybe we can do that now. Do you want to share maybe
Yeah,
the
there is a
latest?
PR. Actually, there's a PR open. In the docs, if you go, there is a draft RIA. I can send the link. 1 second.
Yeah, I think it's good maybe that right now we go over this together before tomorrow's TSC meeting.
Yeah.
So we can also inform them of the outstanding issues.
I'll paste it here. Yeah, I just put a link to the PR. Tal, if you want to.
Where is the link?
It's in the chat.
For some,
it's in the Zoom chat. Sorry, Zoom chat.
Yeah. It took a second to update.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Let me share this. Okay.
If you go to the files, if you go to the file view directly, then there is a known issues or something. Yeah, known issues. It may be. Yes, I want us to. Some of them is reflecting of R1. I don't know if there's still the known issue. Whether we want to remove some of this, add some of this. This is where this is the section that we need to take a look.
Okay. Maybe let's go over these one by one carefully.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is regarding Ubuntu failures. By the way, should we maybe put a link to the actual issue here so people reading this can track it and see if it's already been resolved?
Yeah, that's a great point. I'm not sure whether we have an issue for this or it's already resolved already. That's one of the things I wanted the reviewers to take a.
Yeah.
Do we still have this issue? That's the first thing.
No. Is just during the operation of the controller, or like?
Or do we even claim support for OpenStack at this point of time? Should we just remove it?
It's an experimental feature, right? Like OpenShift.
Yeah. I remember that Francesco was testing that part, but yeah, he was not using like cluster API to provision a OpenStack Kubernetes cluster or something like that. He was just deploying VMs and running. The way that I did a workaround was because I was facing a similar issue in Ubuntu, was removing some of the leftovers in the PT sources. So that's the way that I have solved it in the CI. no, I'm not sure if he's referring or this particular known issue is referred to that particular thing.
Yeah, I don't entirely understand this. I'm not sure what's special about an Ubuntu VM running in OpenStack specifically.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
I think it is, I don't know who worked on this in the R1 timeframe. I think they suggested this. They had some issues with the OpenStack environment specifically. I think that's when we added it. Of course, we have not tested anything for R2 in OpenStack.
Yeah.
So should we just keep it or should we just remove it?
If we don't understand it, I don't think we should keep it.
Okay, can you please add a comment there when you're right there? I'll remove this. Yeah.
And can you also tag Francesco? Yeah, the only person who I know needs his handle.
Does this look okay?
Yeah, I think
La Pen is La Pen or La Pen?
Well, I feel we have enough information here to.
Okay, I would just also include his name there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, the next one. Well, this is an ongoing complaint, right? Yeah. Wim, does this look right to you, the description here?
I think the description is right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we don't know the root cause, but I see the way the system is right now, it's it's a bit flaky.
Yeah.
I think.
But we don't have an open issue for this as well, right? In my view, this should be epic, not a single issue, because there's probably a lot of sub issues.
Yeah, this is a big thing, by the way. Yeah, I agree. This needs some surgery, I think.
Exactly. But yeah, this is.
I think we have to keep this, I think, right? Because this is something that we actually our end-to-end tests, and a lot of people, even when you try manually, they are complaining about this, right? So we have to keep this, I think.
To be honest, I have a lot of issues with this design. This whole idea that we need a separate auto approval controller seems wrong to me. You know, now that we own Porch, this might be something that we can change in Porch itself to allow for auto approval with a certain condition. So yeah, this requires surgery, and I think
the problem is that the way it's built, it's fragile right now. So that's what we have to fix. Whether it's a separate controller, I mean, you can debate about that, I think, but it's fragile in the way that all these conditions are, because some are in the cat file, some are in the revision, and then the file changes. So the way that whole thing is working is a bit
awkward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fragile, I would say, at the moment. So we can make it more robust, I think. And with that, we can probably solve a bunch of issues. But I have been looking at this, by the way.
Great. Okay. So for the final one, I'll just say that we should replace this with porchctl instead of the kept command. Well, I guess the same thing.
But it's probably not will be fixed, right? So it's probably still there, I think, because this is, what does it do? Copy. So that's basically a clone, local.
Yeah. Okay, so let's add the other outstanding issues that we know about here.
The one issue is that I think NF deploy is not idempotent at the moment. That's how I would describe it.
So that relates to the duplication issue?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe say out loud how to write this. I'll type this in and then we'll edit
Wait
it.
a minute. So that's how it's. How do you say? Yeah. So in specialize. Yeah. I mean, do we have to call out the function itself or not?
No. Actually, we want to, when we do the known issue, probably let's put it in the way that is perceived by the end user.
Yeah.
Rather than
Okay,
being
so-
too technical,
so-
rather than being
so
too
then we
technical,
can say
what the
during
end user
special-
would observe. Yeah.
So during specialization, a duplication of the what is it, parameter refs, right?
Yeah.
Can occur.
Parameter refs. Yeah.
Can occur. And then I think should we say the consequence is that the deployment will not succeed, right? So right?
So
Leading to failed deployments in the workload cluster, right? Is that correct?
yeah, and then is the workaround.
I think right now the only workaround you have is redeploy.
Yeah. Let's put that. Yeah. Sagar is bringing out a point in chat that.
Oh, sorry, I don't see the chat.
No, not this one, not related to this. Sorry, I shouldn't have said it until you finish typing. So it's basically, he says it don't use the word occasional in deployment. I'll see that.
Is this specific to 35GC only?
No.
No, this will be for anyone,
Oh,
for anything.
Okay.
Okay. So the other duplication issue is, by the way, I might have a fix for this today. So maybe I don't have to say a fix is in progress because we assume that all of these issues are being fixed. All of these have fixes in progress. Okay. Anything else that we should add to the known issues? Somebody can think about.
So anything related to the a big thing is OAI, RAN and core. Sagar, anything specific that you can think of that we need to add?
Oh, I actually see something here. You said the web UI only shows resources in the default namespace. Oh, limitations. Okay. Yeah.
So Ravi has been reporting some issues in the UI, especially with comparing revisions. I'm not sure it is an issue or like it is expected.
Yeah.
We need more investigation.
I think we all know that the web UI requires a lot of work. Personally, I never use it myself, so I'm not aware of all the issues there. But the reason I don't use it is because it has issues. So,
Rado has his hands raised. Go ahead, Rado.
sorry, go ahead, Rado.
Yeah, speaking of UI, I've bumped the base image version, and it actually causes problems with the application itself. So I think we should ship it like it is right now.
Yeah, we're just documenting what the issues might be. Okay, it sounds we have some quiet. I think this is a good one, you know, and even if we miss something, we'll find out the hard way when somebody reports it. So
yeah, the good thing is it's not going into production.
well, it's not going to production, but we definitely have Ericsson, Samsung, others are using Nefio internally to demo things, but everybody understands that this is definitely not ready for production, but it is ready for testing.
Yeah.
So it's just important that people are aware of what the potential issues are.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, my comment was not to mean that we should not deliver quality software because it's not going to production. That's not what I meant, but I just wanted to.
Yeah.
That was more of a joke.
Right. Fikra, go ahead.
I don't know, just in relation to the porch issue that was reported, I guess, because as porch is moving in under our umbrella, do we own that issue that was reported also?
We do. We do.
Yeah. I don't know whether that should be documented here as a known issue. I don't know.
Well, I wanted us to open issues for all of these to make sure. So yeah, it's an issue in Nefio. It's not an issue in CNCF kept. It is our issue. And, you know, the whole issue of how we deal with porch moving forward, that's a very big topic and one of the first high priority things we need to discuss after the release, for sure. There are a lot of implications to that, and we have to think through how we're going to handle these. So
yeah, I don't know. Do we document it here as part of release notes on known issues? I don't know.
Well, I think the release notes, that's a good question. In the release notes, are we saying that that porch now belongs to Nefio? That's a big part of the release.
Let's see.
Not as yet, because we're still waiting on a release as such. You know, we need to tag the repo to generate a release, if you like.
Functionalities, let's see. Is there something do we say about Porch here at all?
Integration with new release of Porch.
Yeah.
Maybe
it
add a
says
note.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can think of how to phrase that exactly, but
by the way, we should move all the issues related to ports here, right? Because I believe the approval one was listed on the Google repo. So I think a bunch of these issues are not, I was just looking at it, they are not reflected here.
Yeah, very good point.
That's what I mean. Like the one that was reported in relation to the private repo access from Porch was reported and kept. I think John then redirected that
Correct,
person to Nefio.
Yeah.
So should
there
that
is
be
a
listed here?
gazillion of them. There is more
Okay.
than 100 or something that we have to move. So I don't know how we do that, but
Jesus,
yeah,
okay.
I think like Tal said, it's a huge topic in itself.
Yeah, it's too big. It's not an issue. It's just a general thing we need to discuss, I think. And we have to face the reality that John is not very available, and at some point that availability will turn into zero. So as a community, we have to think through what we're going to do moving forward. It's a very big topic. Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do a quick skim of the release note, maybe just to see that everything is okay. So prerequisites, the support matrix.
I increased the course actually because for OAI it required more course.
Yeah. By the way, we still have a lot of issues with these Hugo URLs because they won't show in GitHub.com.
Yeah, that's a known issue. Probably we should add.
Yeah, just pointing it out.
Can you please add a note there when you're there? I will add it. Please add a note. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully Gurgly will find a workaround.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we need to do what you suggested, Tal, something like a plugin.
Yeah. By the way, in features, do we mention that there's new documentation here?
I think so. Let's see. If you go up, it should be there in the feature.
New web-based documentation. Yeah. Okay, so the support matrix. Really? Do we need 16 cores?
It was 8, but Sagar said he increased the number of cores.
Does it have to be
Sagar,
cores?
was it right? Did you increase a core or memory? Did I get it wrong? Sagar, could you please keep me honest?
Yeah, I can explain that. I mean, yeah, the nephew services, like all the minimal things that we needed, requires less than 8 cores and memory. But in order to execute the end-to-end testing, we need the 16 cores and 332 gigabytes.
Okay.
So
thank you.
So maybe. Right, because you could run all of Nephi on something much smaller. The question is, if you want to run all the use cases that we have right now, right, then you need more, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Google Cloud, well, specifically, yeah. GKE for the management cluster. No, this is for any VM. Yeah, okay. Any VM running in Google. This is correct. Non-sandbox installation. Well, it's not, people can create their own sandboxes. I think just this formulation is a little awkward for me. Yeah, just to emphasize that those requirements are specifically for the complete. Something like that. Oops.
Okay, please suggest. I'll take it up.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have another round to look at this, the release notes. Yeah. Yes, this is correct. Oh, wait. No, it's not a typo. Sorry. All right, functionalities. This is the typo. Generalization.
I thought I did the spell check. My IntelliJ didn't do it, I think.
Repo watcher changes. I think there's some items here that aren't entirely clear to me, but I don't see any harm in putting them here. Oh, we already said. Okay, the fixes. Yeah, good. Are we fixing or upgrading the Multis version?
Okay.
Config map, yeah. Yeah, That looks correct. Correct. Provisioning of VLAN interfaces unknowns is manual. Yes.
Yeah, this is one more section we need to take a careful look at. So, thanks for doing that.
Yeah, all of this looks correct so far. Yeah, correct. I mean, I don't know if we need to say additional features. All of these, if we're recognizing all of these as limitations, it's clear that we know about them and want to improve them.
Yeah.
Yeah, pod doesn't have to be capitalized in my view, but okay. Also true. Web UI. Yeah, I mean, generally the web UI just needs a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay to give a lot of detail here. Yeah. These look like limitations. Can anybody think of other limitations to add? I'm sure there are many, many limitations. I think this is okay. I mean, there are obviously many limitations, but it's good to note the specific ones that we're immediately aware of. Well, we have 4 minutes left. You know, the next time will be the TSC meeting tomorrow, where we meet, some of us. Open floor. Anybody want to raise something that is important before the TSC meeting tomorrow?
Where are we planning? When? Sorry, we are planning to release, to tag and do all this, stuff around it tomorrow.
I was under the impression tomorrow. Yeah, that was my understanding. What do you think, Tom? Tomorrow is when tomorrow.
I wanted us to have maybe a meeting where we do the tagging together. Not everybody has to be present, for sure. Only people who have a vested work involved in the tagging of the images and everything. So on the calendar, do we have like Thursday? So, I wonder if we should create a special meeting this week. It could be tomorrow or Friday where we meet.
I would go for Friday just to be safe, because there is a TSC tomorrow.
Right.
We might have some, some outcomes from the TSC that we will have to deal, and so maybe just to be on the safe side, let's go with Friday. Then we have the weekend to party over the new release.
Yeah, there's a general rule sometimes that you never release on Friday, but we're a special project, so.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Friday is okay, but any particular reason? I'm not expecting anything from TSC other than that they will ask the question: is the release done? I think that's the question they will ask. Yeah.
Well, we'll show them those release notes and say that we are planning a 2.0.1 release soonish, because we have some big outstanding issues. So yeah, the same thing happened with R1, so nobody was going to be shocked.
Yeah.
I think that's okay. I think Content especially is mostly concerned just getting the press release out and having something. So it's totally fine to do fixes in a month or
so my question was like, why Friday is okay, but why not? Is there any specific reason why we don't want to plan for tomorrow? Because let's.
I just thought maybe there's gonna be some like comments from TSC or something that we have to accommodate for. If not, we can do like a quick thing before the TSC if people from across the big pond are okay with with the
Or
early.
if-
I'm in favor of Friday because it's just a lot of meetings too. Just give us a little bit of breathing room. And I agree with Rado, you know, something might come up in the TSC meeting tomorrow. One day will not make a difference, in my view.
All right, that's fine. So let's have a meeting for Friday, the release party. That's what you call it, right, Rado?
Tagging, yeah.
We can always say that we have a code freeze and we're just preparing for a release on Friday, in case, you know, TSC asks.
Yeah.
About why it's Friday or something. But the same thing was with R1. I don't think it's going to be an issue one day.
So this is a SIG release owned issue. Rado, Bala, do you want to set a time for Friday for the meeting?
I'm good with any time.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah, it's
There is a SIG1 meeting on Friday.
there is a SIG1 meeting. Yeah, if need be, I mean, some of us may have to skip it. That's fine.
Yeah.
So 11 to 12 is, do you think we should meet at the same time, or we should meet it after, before? Tal, and Rado, first of all, I want to ask you, because you are in the time zone. It's a Friday night for you. What is the is earlier the better for you, Rado?
I cannot think about better fun for a Friday night than doing this, so don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it as early as possible. So I would say that before the SIG meeting, the SIG1 meeting. Sorry.
Okay, 10 o'clock. Yeah, our time.
It would be my 10 o'clock. Yeah, and your 10 o'clock too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the same time zone.
10 PST?
No, it would be 8 a.m. PST.
8 a.m. PST. Okay. Cool.
Okay, Bala, would you create that issue in SIG release?
Yes, I'll try to create it. If I cannot, I will ask you. Yeah, let me take a shot. Yeah.
Okay, if you have problems, I can create one in SIG automation. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're at time. Wow, quite a journey, but we're
quite a journey.
Yeah. As
Thanks,
usual,
everyone. Yeah.
huge thank you to everybody. This has been a crunch, sometimes unpleasant, but we're there. And as I said, I hate these crunches. I'm going to work really hard to make sure that we don't reach the same state with R3. And that kind of work is going to start now to make sure that with coordination with SIG1 and everything that we can, we can start working on future things right now and not wait a few months twiddling our thumbs until we get to the crunch for R3. So,
by the way, the fix from Akash is there, right? So he's asking to test it.
Terrific!
With Sagar. So
excellent.
it's basically I know what so the issue is that he copied from the wrong place. So so it's actually a very small fix.
So is the PR already in? Did you update the PR?
Yes, I was just reviewing the code.
Oh, awesome. Oh, there are 2 comments now. Cool. Yes. Thank you, Wim. Thank you, Akash.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see some of you tomorrow and on Friday.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much. Okay.
All right. Cool. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah.